Hey guys, it's Christian here, back from CNH Smallage again. I'm doing a another review video here. This one's for like AKs and VEPRs and stuff like that. I got a KREBS custom, we call it the retaining plate for your access pins for your AK or your VEPR style rifles out here and stuff like that, your shotguns. And I'm giving a review about it, and I basically give it 2 thumbs down because the way that they currently make it right here, the front pin for your hammer right here is perfectly fine. However, the rear back slot right here for your rear trigger pin on here has a real big gap on here, and I personally do not like that specific style right there. Plus, basically, it only has about 1 contact part on here, because this thing will actually slide in and out like that, just maybe about a 3/8 of an inch, just enough where it's not going to be completely contacting the rear access pin on here. And the front pin, it might actually slop or have a little bit of a slop right there for it, where it's not completely cupping the front access pin for your hammer right here when it goes down through here for your pin. And the other thing is, this thing has 2 bends. You probably can't really see it. It has 1 bend right here, and it has another bend right here, and this actually almost like flexes down inside your gun as well too. And in my one DDI gun, the actual hammer spring right here was actually rubbing on the bottom piece. It was basically hitting down here, and it was constantly contacting it and rubbing against here, causing the trigger to not want to smoothly actuate itself right there for that. So I give the KREBS, at least in my DDI guns, a 2 thumbs down. They may work on other guns better, but in my personal opinion, just basically stick with a plain factory DDI retaining pin plate for that as well, because this one I do not like the design, and the pins can actually walk out on the back here if they possibly get hit and damaged, something like that. So I give it 2 thumbs down for the KREBS custom retaining pin plate right there for that. And the next part I got here is your recoil springs for your AKs. I got 2 right next to me right here. You got 2 springs. One's the old Bulgarian 1950s style. The other one is a brand new Bulgarian for a milled receiver gun right here. And you can see by just looking at them right here, you got about an extra inch and I'd say inch and about 3/4 length right here on the end right here. And basically that's the difference from the older ones as opposed to the newer ones out there for that. The newer ones are a lot more springy right here, where the older ones, you get a lot more, it's a lot easier to push on there for that. Plus your extra 1.5 inch on here will keep your gun from slamming into the back of your receiver on there for that as well too. So it's always a good idea, if you get a parts kit gun out there, it's always a good idea to upgrade and put a newer OEM factory spring or like a Wolf high power recoil spring to help the gun cycle properly, so the bolt carrier group doesn't slam into the back of the receiver and cause rear trunnion issues and stuff like that with it. So that's definitely a good upgrade. I just want to show you guys what it should look like side by side with an older used one versus a newer factory brand new one from like KVAR or somebody else or whatever out there for that. Okay, the last thing I got here to review is some people, if they take their trigger assemblies out of their gun and basically say your spring basically flew apart or whatever happens, like say you broke the trigger or you broke the spring somehow and you don't know how to put the thing back in. It's basically very simple to do that. You just basically take it like this, you look on the back, right back here is where the trigger assembly goes, where the actual U-hook goes on there. So basically what you want to do is you want to have this piece right here laying against this piece right here. So basically what you do is take it like that, in your one hand on left hand, so you loop it around, put your hammer into the spring assembly like so, slide it down in there so it looks like that. And what you do is you want to rotate it up around so it contacts that just like so. The next piece you want to do is rotate these other 2 arms, I call them, on the back here forwards, and they will catch on the back just like so. Then you rotate the other one up around. This will be a little bit difficult, so I'm trying to do it here right on camera. Rotate them around until they contact each other, and you want to loop them around each other so they don't interfere with each other. So you just want to cross them over like so. Let me get it back up on there for you guys. That's how you want to look at, or have it, I say have it look like. Have them looped over. It might be a good idea to put a, we want to call it a piece of wire or something to hold them together, but that's what they should look like when it's ready to get dropped into your gun right there for that. So here's the back, or I should say here's the front side, what it should look like. Crossed over, looped over each other, and that's what it should look like from the rear portion after they're put back into position. These springs are very strong, so you want to put pressure on the bottom piece right here, like I'm doing right here, to keep them from popping back out again, so it'll basically hold it like that. So that's how it should look like when you put it back in your gun, when you're ready to drop in some new axis pins, or you're putting a new trigger and hammer assembly in your gun for that. And that's basically everything I'm going to talk about right now for that. So this video details the review for the KREBS custom retaining plate, the two springs I mentioned here as well too, which I definitely recommend upgrading to if you have an older parts kit gun out there. Always check or always upgrade your springs, because you never know, you might have an extra 1 inch, 1.5 inch, or 2 inches longer for the newer recoil spring assembly. So it's always a good upgrade to get a new one of these things, because if you have a really crappy beat up spring on here, your gun might not cycle properly, or if your gun is over gassed, it may slam the bolt carrier in the back of your rear trunnion on there for that. So it's a good upgrade to get new springs all the time. And plus, the last was the review of how to install your recoil spring assembly for, I should say your hammer spring, sorry about that, your hammer spring assembly here for that. So just go ahead and cross those things over like I said before, and put it back like that, and that's what it's supposed to look like when it's ready to get dropped back in your gun. This spring right here is actually a new spring from Carolina Customs, I believe, and that's what it should look like when it's ready to go to be dropped back into your gun. So if anybody has any questions, comments, whatnot, as usual, just drop me an email here, and I'll try to answer any questions you guys have about something like this. This one right here I mentioned, I almost forgot to mention, this hammer and spring assembly is for your VEPR 12 right here for that. You can tell the VEPR 12, they do machine the right hand side down here a bit over here, because you only got about maybe, so let's say about 3/8 over here, and it's probably about a 5/16, or I should say it's maybe about a 1/2 inch on the left side. So that's basically my review for all three features right there, or all three ports I was reviewing. So if anybody has any questions, again, just drop me a message on my page here, and I'll try to answer any questions you guys have about the three things that I talked about here. So have a nice day, guys. I'll see you. Bye.